brought to you by Bethel School of Technology. Learn more at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.
I'm 36. A couple years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, no.
And I'm okay now, but
Okay,
I
good.
went through all of it.
Yeah.
Chemo, surgery, radiation, and I'm still doing immunotherapy. So it's an ongoing process.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So happy that you're
thank
on
you.
the mend.
Yeah, thanks. Before all of this, I was a lawyer. And the irony of this diagnosis was that a couple months before I got the diagnosis, I had decided that I don't want to be a lawyer anymore. I'm going to try and find something that suits me more. And I just got derailed by the diagnosis and treatment and having to do everything.
Sure.
So now I've been for the last year or so, I've been sort of trying to get back into the work environment, but I took admin jobs because I told myself I want to try and do this slowly and
Sure.
and see where it takes me kind of thing.
Sure.
Just sort of get used to working again because I was off for a couple of years.
Yeah.
But now that I'm back to full time, I'm just I can't handle it kind of thing. I have way too much work, too much responsibility, I guess. It's probably a little bit of function of where I'm at right now, but also I keep telling myself I used to do more than this before all of this. I used to do way more hours, way more
Yeah, but guess what?
mental load and all of that.
But you know what? You are a different person.
Yeah, well,
I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine
Yeah.
how something like that changes a person emotionally, mentally, and let's not forget physically. So
Yeah.
cut yourself a break. And let's
Yeah.
also acknowledge, I think, that there's not a lot of joy in this current work either. It's not
Yeah.
it's not work that you're really enjoying. You're probably good at it, but you don't enjoy it. Is that fair?
yes, yeah.
All right, what is your role? Administrative assistant?
Yeah. I'm basically right now I help someone who's doing payroll. So I
Yeah, but
I
what kind of
aid in
lawyer?
payroll and I do
Right. Yeah, so it's just numbers all day long and organization and checking the box.
Mhm.
My guess is when you were a lawyer, you had an assistant. Is that true?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. I had an assistant and a clerk.
Yeah. And now you're doing that
Yeah.
kind of work, which by the way, nothing wrong with that work, but that's just not
Yeah.
what you're wired to do.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. So what's your question?
So my question is I'm coming to terms with I'm not the same person I was before.
Yeah.
And so my question is where do I go from here? Because I want to, apply to different types of jobs and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. But
Yeah.
as I'm preparing my resume, I'm I don't even know what to write because I know, in the base of things, who I am and how I am and that kind of thing.
Sure.
But I'm learning that what I was able to do before, I probably won't be able to
Okay, but what are
do
you?
as much as
Okay,
I
great. That's fine. So now the question becomes, what are you able to do now? And and you called my show because you trust me enough to ask this question, so you know my methodology. What do you do best? What do you enjoy doing most? And what results really, really matter to you now? And I think it's there. And by the way, if you don't have my assessment, I'm going to give you the book, Find the Work You're Wired to Do.
did it.
Oh, you did it? You did it recently?
I did it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, recently.
What do we got? Did you agree with the results?
Yeah, we agree with the results for the most part. My thing is the first thing that came up on my talents was compassion, and I feel I get into bad habits with that. The being too compassionate in many ways.
Okay, but guess what?
Yeah.
Hold on. You're self-aware enough to say that. So now we need to create some boundaries so that we don't give too much. You cannot give, Emily, what you do not have. So it could be as simple as going, physically, because I'm still in cancer treatment and my body's still in recovery, I can't serve as long as I used to serve. Maybe I could have volunteered for 4 hours before, but now at about an hour and a half, I'm feeling tired. Whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So let's keep going. Top 3 talents. So compassion was one. What else?
Connection and discernment.
Okay. That screams people, people, people. All 3 of those are people skills.
Yeah.
All right. Top 3 passions, work you enjoy.
Advising, analyzing, teaching. And the mission is efficiency.
Interesting. Okay. So
I like to say that I have tried teaching, at like a higher education level, because I'm educated to that, like I can do it as a lawyer. And like it hasn't been what I expected it to be or anything like that.
Yeah,
and I don't find myself very good at it. I'm good at like the one-on-one, like helping the interns stuff like that. I'm not good in front of like a big class and explaining things.
So I want you to substitute the word teaching for instructing or guiding, right?
Yeah.
And that goes hand in hand with advising and analyzing, right? Mm-hmm. There's a certain amount of work that you want to dig into something to get to the bottom of it. Mm-hmm. Is that fair? You enjoy digging to get to the bottom of something.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. And so I think there's a wide variety of things you can do. And I'll just be honest with you. When I see compassion, connection, and discernment, I'm not so sure you're not back in the legal field, but in a very different form, in a very different function, if I can use that word. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I want to stop if I've confused you.
No, I think I understand, yeah.
What kind of legal work were you doing before?
I was mostly a solicitor, and then I also did a lot of dispute resolution stuff. Out of court, amicable
So
stuff.
if you look at the wide world of legal work and how a person who has a legal degree and license, what work can you do that you are advising on legal issues? What work can you do where you're analyzing legal issues? What work can you do as it relates to teaching? In other words, I would take the word teaching here, and I don't even think it's anywhere near a classroom. I think it's more, showing people, hey, here's what you need to do. That means you could be doing legal work for small businesses. You could be doing legal work for large corporations. You could be doing legal work for nonprofit organizations. I mean, I just think it's all across the board. And I think what I'm seeing here is not the what. I think it's the where. And I think if you're doing legal work in an area where your purpose statement is about 75% of your day, I think then you're guarding yourself physically, and you're not trying to be the same person you were before. And we're putting some boundaries up to go, this is who I am now. I just don't know that you can't accomplish this through your legal background and your legal training. I think you can make this purpose statement come alive. Do you agree?
Yeah, and I have been looking more into getting like maybe a master's degree in the like dispute resolution stuff.
Hold on a second. I don't necessarily want you immediately thinking I got to go get another degree. Mm-hmm. Now, if we determine that the direction we want to go requires a master's, great. But I don't know that you need a master's to be good at conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Fair?
Yeah, it's true.
Emily.
I did it for many years.
That's my point. Emily, I'm saving you time and money, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You're trying to spend your money and spend your time. This is a trap. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the most important part of your Get Clear assessment results is actually your missional result. I think you need to be focused on where can I use my legal degree and experience to drive efficiency for people, organizations. Where can I drive efficiency? See, it's not about achievement for you. It's not about influence. It's not about creation. It's about efficiency. You are motivated when you contribute to something working the way it's supposed to work or working to its fullest. Am I right?
Yeah.
Boom. Where can you do that legally? And now you're going to change your work rhythms. You're going to go in eyes wide open as it relates to what your physical and mental capacities are. But I don't think you're changing fields. I think you're changing areas. That would be my take. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Launch your tech career today at betheltech.net/Ken Coleman.